You know what I mean? Like, going into the United States, you're worried that they're coming after you now.
Yeah.
And it feels that way. When we went back, it felt that way. It's like you feel like someone's coming after you. There's no reason for anybody to come after me. I've had all kinds of background checks and all this stuff. Yeah. I have nothing after me. But I feel like, even when the guy was nice to us coming into Texas, and he was like, welcome back, you know, and it's like...
Oh, I was so scared.
It was so... You feel so anxious. And it was like...
what does that mean?
It's like, wow. No one has ever welcomed me in this country. Nobody has ever said, like it sounded like genuine, like...
Yeah, like it was a cool dude.
Yeah. Like,
but
welcome back, you know, kind of thing. And it was like, wow.
The first thing I thought was like, what does that mean? What happens now?
That's really scary.
Yeah!
Well, so...
But he was sincere.
I was kind of battling with this whole Miami thing for a couple of days before I suggested it. Because I'm really fearful for your safety. And I know that something bad could happen anywhere. But I really am fearful. And so I had to say, okay, if this is something that Aaron wants to do, he'll make that choice. I shouldn't stop you from doing something you want to do just because of my fear. But now with all of this extra stuff going on, all of the rioting and the anger, it just heightens my anxiety.
Yeah, but honestly,
we can't stop living because of that.
Right. There's nothing... Because, honestly, we could go... Because our flight essentially goes from Mexico City to Miami and Miami out.
Yep.
And something could happen in the... I mean, we could be sitting in the airport and, you know, sitting there, you know, reading the news on our phone, and next thing you know, there's a cop pulling us out of our chair.
Yeah.
That's always been a reality that, you know, because they would say, you know, you look like a guy who just did a thing.
Yeah.
That's how my line brother got picked up while we were online. That they said he looked like some guy that he couldn't even possibly look like. Like, he wasn't as tall as the guy, he wasn't as big as the guy, he wasn't the same skin tone as the guy, and these were black folks that picked his ass up. So, there's always that potential.
Right.
You know, and because being black in America, that is not the thing you're worried about.
Well, that's also...
it's always a reality.
It's also the reason why I didn't want to fly through the States. But we couldn't afford the extra $1,000.
Okay, but that's
$1,500.
I don't know why you're bringing that up.
Well,
it's a normal part of living
in the
United States. It's what has always been there. But you know, it's like people now have all these terms, you know, walking while black and shopping while black and, you know, being a reporter while black. And, you know, okay, I mean, but that's always been there. We've always been the target of someone that didn't want us to continue doing whatever it is we were doing, wherever we were doing it.
Yeah.
It's like being chased out of stores just because you were shopping. Yeah. You know, because they thought you were going to steal something, so they chased you out by following you around the store. And then some people took the tact, I'm just going to stay and I'm going to keep shopping as long and still not buy anything.
Right.
Or they, you know, and the idea is, I came into the store to buy something, you give me bad service and treat me badly, do I buy anything?
No.
Yeah.
But they still do.
People do. Because basically, you probably needed the thing that you walked into the store for in the first damn place.
Yep.
You know, and maybe you can't go to the next store over and get it. Maybe you can. But that doesn't mean you're going to be treated any differently either.
Nope.
So, I guess, I don't know. I wouldn't worry. I guess you're probably more worried than I am. Because this is
it's your
what
reality.
I'm. Yeah,
it's been your reality for 40-something years.
You just learn to not allow yourself. And see, that's the other thing, though. Because there are no accidents, and because we know that we can be accused at any moment, you tend not to want to go or be in places that are going to, like, as soon as you notice that it's starting to switch, it's starting to change, people are starting to get up, other people are starting to come in, the stuff is happening around you, you don't sit there like a hardhead and say, I'm just gonna stay.
No.
You like that, what was that movie? The movie where they start fighting. Oh, it was in The Color Purple. You basically become the dog. In Color Purple, they're in the juke joint. And Suge's new man is there with her old man. And next thing you know, they're back and forth, and you can see. And then all of a sudden, something happens, and the old man says, see y'all later. And he starts walking out, and then the guitar guy starts packing up, and you see oh, I know what it was. It was Oprah's character. She's balling her fist, and as she's balling her fist, whoop, time to go. And then everybody starts leaving because you know it's finna go down. I mean, there's a certain awareness there. If you haven't seen that scene, watch that scene.
Watch that movie.
That's what black folks should do and did. But the problem is you got, like I said, young people that are like, no, I should not have to. They've been taught that they should not have to. I should not have to get up. I should not have to leave. I should not have to move away. I should not have to remove myself because of other bad actors, which is fine. Don't leave.
I don't have that.
But keep in mind, it's gonna be your fault.
I don't have that.
When you get in trouble for by doing nothing, when you get in trouble, it's gonna be your fault.
But isn't that part of the whole battered woman syndrome?
But we're gonna blame them.
I know that's part of the battered woman.
We're gonna say it's your fault for staying. Why didn't you get your ass up? Did you see that guy walk in there? Didn't you know who that guy was? Didn't you know that he didn't look right when he came in? He's wearing a motherfucking coat. It's 90 degrees outside. Why are you still there?
Look.
It's your fault you got shot.
If I would have made him the dinner he wanted, he wouldn't have beat my ass.
No, because you were going to get that ass beat anyway.
That's what they think.
No, but I'm saying that
that
ass was about to get beat no matter what.
If you would have done what I told you to do, your daddy wouldn't have whooped your ass. Daddy was going to whoop him anyway. Now, I grew up with that whole, there are no accidents. I'm playing with my friend in the backyard. My foot slips just a little. I bang it against a stair. I break my foot. What does my mother say? Didn't I tell you not to be running around the deck? I wasn't running around the deck. I slid on some grass. But it was my fault that I broke my foot because I slid on the grass because I was playing outside like kids do. My brakes went out on my bicycle and the chain came off and I crashed and scraped up my face and my knee and my shoulder and my hands, and it was my fault. It wasn't because I should have known that my chain was gonna pop off. That's how I grew up. And that's how black folks are treated.
Should have oiled that chain.
Right, I was 7.
I'm accidents, man.
So and that was something, you said that when the kids were really little.
There are no accidents.
You said that when he fell down the stairs.
There are no accidents.
This child.
If you wasn't at the top of the stairs, you wouldn't fall down the stairs.
He was shaking the baby gate and shaking and shaking and shaking, and he shook it so much.
If you ain't up the stairs.
He shook the baby gate so much he tumbled head over heels all the way down 16 stairs. And Aaron said, if you would have been up there with him, he wouldn't have done it. If you would have told him to stop, he wouldn't have fallen. And I'm like,
there are no accidents.
Are you kidding me? So it was at that very moment I was like, I will never do this to our kids. Because this is how I grew up. And this is how you grew up.
There are no accidents.
And so...
I'm telling you, whether people realize it or not, I would say the majority of people, especially of our generation and probably before, they all have that inside of their DNA, their cultural DNA, that says if bad things happen to you, it's because you didn't take the right steps to mitigate the bad thing happening. There are no accidents. And I love that when people get older who realize that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Of course there are accidents. They're the ones that want to say, no, that's not true. There are definitely accidents, but it was you that taught me there are no accidents. That's so funny. I'm telling you, man, there are no accidents. You twist your ankle, you was playing basketball.
Oh, I can't with this shit.
It's true. It's true.
You were the one running down the sidewalk.
That's right. You fell. Why'd you fall? Why'd you slip? You slipped and fell. Why?
You do that shit all the time, and I just want to like shake you, like knock it off. It's not funny.
People don't. For me, it's a hangover of an older way of thinking. But people do blame the victim of something. Like you're walking across the street and a car almost hits you. Whose fault is it?
You're going to tell me it's my
I
fault.
lived in China. It is 100% most likely 100% the driver's fault.
Oh, yeah. Because they don't care.
But if it's us, it's our fault.
Yeah.
It's your fault. You didn't get across the street.
Right, you shouldn't have kept walking. You should have seen them coming. You should have heard the revving of the engine. You should have put yourself in a different position so that car didn't almost hit you.
You were supposed to see into the nth dimension.
She got the glasses, man. She got the damn glasses.
You know.
What are you talking about? She got the glasses. She can always see what's happening before it happens.
Okay, so there was this time when someone started to troll me online. I never had any interaction with this person ever. I never met them.
You talked to them on Facebook.
They were in a group, a public group.
On Facebook.
That you joined.
That we ran. And she didn't like a comment that we made about a restaurant. And she started calling my phone. She started threatening me. She created a police report. She called Aaron. And then, what does my husband say to me? What did you do?
What'd you do?
What'd you do? Because she doesn't just do this for no reason.
Nobody does.
Yes, she does.
No.
I did nothing.
You brought that shit on yourself.
And
it's one of the ways that we think about why bad things happen to us.
But it was that mentality, that thing that you just said was exactly why I didn't tell you for the months it had been going on.
Right.
Because I knew you were going to blame me for something that
It's not really blame, though. It's just that...
It's blame.
No. It's really not blame.
It's blame.
It's not blame. There's a different thing happening there. It's not...
It's blame
it's
and
not
shame.
No. It's not your fault. But you allowed it to happen to you.
How?
That idea
How?
It's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. That idea. It's not really blame. I'm not saying you made her do it.
But you are.
You're not. That is not, when people say this in our culture, That is not what they're doing, because they will all fight you and say, I am not blaming you. They will all say that. It is not blame. It is you opened the door. The other person walked in. It's not your fault that they walked in, but you allowed them access. You allowed them to come in. See, it's not your fault that they chose to walk in. You see? That's the difference. That's the way people will explain that.
Your action allowed for you to be hurt.
Yes.
It's not your fault that you got hurt.
That's what people mean when they say you brought something on yourself.
How is that not blaming the victim?
It's not blaming the victim. Because they're not. It's not blame.
Aaron.
No. I am trying to get you to understand the larger picture. I'm not talking about you anymore. I'm talking about in the larger picture, the larger scheme of things. I would say 80% of the people who think that way inside of the United States, they all will fight you and say, I am not blaming that person for what happened to them.
But are they blaming that person?
No, they are.
No,
they're not. Even in their, yes, they are saying that.
I'm not talking about in their head. I'm talking about in reality.
In reality.
Are they actually blaming the person for it's hot, I'm going to open my window.
Like if you were going to do
a bee flies in, and it's my fault.
If you were going to do it's...
A bee flies in, stings me. I go into anaphylactic shock and die.
Right.
It's my fault I died because I opened the window.
Fault.
It's your fault.
I brought that shit on myself.
You brought that shit on yourself.
I brought that shit on myself because it was 98 degrees in my house and I decided to open the window.
That's right.
So I brought that that's blaming the victim.
No, it's not. I'm telling you, the people that believe that way, 100% will say to you, I don't think that it was the victim's fault. They will all say this.
But you brought that shit on yourself.
But you brought that shit on yourself.
I go to the club, low cut top,
that's
teeth
right.
out,
That's right.
ass
That's right.
all looking great, and some man comes up and gropes me. I brought that shit on myself. No, motherfucker, I did not.
You did because you went to the club.
With my titties out.
No. It doesn't matter.
If you were like that in your house, nothing would have happened to you.
No, it wouldn't have happened.
The fact that you went there.
You went there. You put yourself in that position to even be there.
And that was the wrong.
And that's
what's wrong with the culture. That's why this man having a 200-pound man on his neck and two more 200-pound men on his body, and he brought that shit on himself.
Yep. And that's what people will say, and they have already started
saying it. I saw a black woman comment, well, if he wasn't resisting arrest, there is video evidence that this man did not resist arrest.
Yep.
But this black woman was like, he knew how to act right.
Act right.
If he knew how to act right, he wouldn't have been on that ground. He would have been, bitch, he wasn't doing anything.
I'm trying to get you to understand, man.
He was black in America. That's all he did.
Look.
And that's all the rest of them did.
All black folks know, you better act right.
You can, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am.
None of that matters.
They don't care.
You gotta act right. And act right, if you can't act right,
you're dead.
Pretty much. Pretty much. You're taking your life in your hands.
And when you're dealing with the police, there is not enough act right. You're going to die more often than not.
Oh, potentially. If you...
Where's your fingers, man?
Want to find us? You can find us on the YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify, or wherever good podcasts are sold. At The Traveling Farce. If you like the Instagram or the Twitters, Traveling Farce. If you like the email, travelingfarce@gmail.com. And the blog space, thetravelingfarce.blueberry.net. No E's in the blueberry.
And don't forget to check out our Patreon.
Patreon.
Which is patreon.com/thetravelingfarce.
I think we need to have a...
We need something on
We need to take a look at the Patreon to make sure that we can get people to come to the Patreon.
Yeah, I looked
and
at
we need to promote the Patreon more so that people know that it's available, that they can can keep us going with our stuff because,
Right now, it's free to sign up.
What do you mean it's free to sign up?
There's no cost for our Patreon right now.
I don't think there's a cost for anybody's Patreon.
Yeah, it's a subscription. It's a monthly thing. That's what Patreon
You're
is.
not for us.
No, for them.
For them, it's
For
like
you.
it's $0 right now.
But what does that mean?
I mean,
Because they're not paying anything.
You have to put a price on it, Aaron.
Yeah.
I don't. You're saying
There's
that?
no subscription plan.
I thought there was.
No.
Nope.
I looked at it last
No,
week.
no. I'm not buying that because I did the default.
$0 a month.
What?
It's
That's
$0.
what it says.
I did the default. I did the thing.
That's what it says.
Listen,
I have things. I think
we
I have
looked
set
at
up
it.
something. But yeah.
Well, then why didn't you change it?
I can't. I didn't touch it.
What do you mean? I didn't make it.
Who made it? Oh God, that's why I told her when I was sitting there looking at it.
I didn't make it. I just signed into it to finish off the setup. I didn't do the setup. She did the setup. Karen did it.
Aren't you the one that completed it?
Yes.
Okay.
But you could. I think if you sign into it, then you can still edit the page.
No, I know that. My point is,
It wasn't done.
she
initially.
did
No.
it.
Yeah.
I brought this on myself.
You brought it on yourself. You brought this ass whooping on yourself.
It's not a big deal. It's just I think it's like one tab in the settings.
We have to check it out. All right,
I have a
we're out of
Patreon
here.
that has
Say goodbye to
nothing
people.
attached
Say
to
goodbye
it.
to people.
Bye, people.
I hate being on the edge. Peace.